Well, here's a story that has parents talking about Club Libby Lou. They are refusing to give a 6-year-old girl Hannah Montana tickets even though she won their essay contest. The story is about the girl's dad dying in Iraq, but it turns out that the essay that the 6-year-old wrote isn't true at all. The girl's mom admitting it's a work of fiction, but saying that she wasn't told that the story had to be true in order to win those coveted tickets. Gina Mendola Longarzo says that the store should still give the little girl the tickets. She's an attorney, but Gwen Lindsay Jackson disagrees. She is also an attorney. And welcome to you both, ladies. Okay, Gina, let me start with you. I mean, why should they give her the tickets? She made up this horrible story. I mean, there are children who've lost their parents in Iraq.
Well, I think it's absolutely outrageous that this company is taking the tickets away from this poor little girl. She's a double victim. She's a victim now of her mother's poor judgment, and now she's a victim of the company who, from a purely legal standpoint, they said submit a story. They didn't say it had to be a true story. Then they failed to do their homework. They didn't check on whether it was an accurate story. They slipped it to the media. They cashed in on the media sensation, and then they take the tickets away from the kid.
You know, Gwen, if you look at this fine print, Gina has a point. It did not say that it had to be a true story.
Well, I mean, if you look at the fine print, you could make that argument. But what are we talking about here? We're talking about morals. We're talking about judgment. We're talking about values. We have a 6-year-old girl who's arguably being used by her mother to achieve these tickets under false pretenses. And you got to face it. If the tickets, I know these tickets were worth a certain dollar amount, probably a high dollar amount.
Very high,
if you have
yes.
a mother that's so willing to use a child under false pretenses, then I think maybe they should look at charging the mother with some kind of a crime, or they should look at,
judgment,
or
I
think they should look at possibly child protective services. I mean, this could be considered corrupting the morals of a minor.
And that was the one that we were looking at with the blonde ponytail, by the way.
I just have to interject. They said that they would give this little child the ticket. She's 6 years old. She's a baby. How about letting her keep the tickets and now letting her save face publicly and giving them back?
But what
saying,
kind of message you have a little girl.
I have a 5-and-a-half-year-old.
What kind of message if she got to go? I mean, little girls, all they want to do is go to this concert.
Maybe she would have made the right choice and been able to clear her name now. She's going to be ridiculed in school. She's the little liar. She's going to suffer from embarrassment. Let her take them and say, you know what? In retrospect, I thought about this. On reflection, I'm going to give these tickets back and do the right thing.
She should give them to someone whose parents are serving in Iraq, maybe. Go ahead.
I think that if the parent was really trying to do the right thing and the company really feels sorry for the little girl, why not go to the little girl and the parent and say, well, you know that it was wrong, have a little girl and the parent write a letter. We acknowledge that it was inappropriate. My father didn't die in Iraq, and then maybe you can possibly consider it. But right now we cannot send a message that this is something that's going to be acceptable. And then look at the child, look at her morals.
Yes,
what's going to happen in 10, 15 years if you look back on this and we turn a blind eye to this, and she's going to think that it's okay.
I have to interject. It's not up to Club Libby Lou to teach her the right thing to do. If she's not learning that lesson at home, Club Libby Lou made a mistake. They said submit a story. She submitted a story. They didn't do their homework. Why should this little girl have to suffer?
I don't think Club Libby Lou made a mistake at all. I think that the parent is the one that corrupted the morals of a minor. And I think, like, for example, if you're writing a check, that's having an argument that, well, it doesn't matter whether I have money in the checkbook. All they wanted was to collect was that I had to submit a check. Let's just face facts.
Yeah, but at some point you have to realize that this little girl, this is a single mother. I mean, I went online. It's $2,400 for a ticket for the Atlantic City show. This mother's desperate. She's a single mom. You got to understand, and they created this frenzy over this Hannah Montana competition.
Just because a single mom is desperate doesn't
maybe
mean
she's
that
teaching the wrong values, but any parent can understand it's Christmas. I'm desperate to get this for my child. It's the one thing she wants. She's to blame just as much as Club Libby Lou, but the 6-year-old is the victim.
She's to blame, and I think there might be some criminal consequences for her actions. You're saying that the tickets were $2,400.
It's not a crime.
You
it's not
used
a crime.
your child.
It may be a civil fraud. It's definitely not a crime.
Under false pretenses.
We can all agree it was a crime of bad judgment. That's for sure. Happy holidays,
Happy New
ladies.
Year's, Terry.
Okay, Happy New Year's.